Welcome back, everyone. In our last lesson, we are able to work on our game, and we can now have the ability to eat objects, and we have our score updated. And we're also increasing the length of our snake. So what we're going to do in this lesson is to add a little challenge. So I asked you how to change the food, and hopefully you saw that you could just change that by changing the color. This time around, let's go ahead and see how we can make the food flash. Now, it might be a bit overkill, but it just helps to add a little bit of flavor to the game, and you can see how these things are being created. So first thing we want to do is to save a version. So I'll just clear the screen, and we'll just call this save 03 and underscore food underscore flash. Yeah, food flash. Like that. So how are we going to do that? So first we're going to add a timer, and then whenever we eat the food, whenever we eat the food, we're going to basically wait for about a few seconds, just like 1/3 of a second, not a few seconds, like quarter, 1/3 of a second, and then we're going to update the food. So let's do that. Let's go to our update because we need to always check for that. So it's beginning to get messy. So we don't really know where things are. And actually we can use these additional tabs to create functions. But since we're starting, I don't want to have functions everywhere. So like that. So in our update, let's add an update flash function. So here, I'll call that update underscore flash. So this will constantly check if we're actually flashing. That's what that's going to do. And also in our init food. So let's go over here and check for our init food. Over here, what we want to do is to add a function to check our timer because it's in the init food section that we're checking if we're actually flashing or not. So here, just after the food table, we're going to create a function called flash a timer and initialize that to 0. Excuse me. So now that we have that flash initialized to 0, what we're going to do is to check where we're colliding because that's where our snake is colliding with the food. So if we've collided with the food, we're going to start the flash effect. So let's go ahead and look for our check food. That's why, having these comments is very interesting. So here, I'll call this check food collision, like so. So this is where we're checking for our food collision. And just after just 8, let's add another one. So let's set our flash timer. I'll set that to 0.3, like so. So this is going to be our start flash effect. So I'll just call that flash EFF. So basically our flash timer effect. So that's our flash timer. We're setting that to 0.3. Now let's go to our update flash function. We haven't created the function yet. So let's go ahead and create that. So just after spawn food or literally any position you want, let's create our update flash. So here we're going to call that update food flash. And we'll call that function. We'll call that update flash. So I'm just going to say update underscore flash. Now we're going to end that to make sure we don't have any errors lingering. Excuse me. And what we're going to do basically is to check if our flash timer is greater than 0. Then we're going to start counting down. So let's say if our flash underscore timer is greater than 0, then what we're going to do is to Excuse me, guys. Really sorry about that. We're going to set our flash timer. So flash timer is going to be minus equals 1/30th of our frame. And that's all we're going to do here. Let's make sure this is going to be our end for our if statement. And then let's make sure we add our end for our update flash. So I'm saving that. So we have our update flash function. And all we're doing is to check if our flash timer is greater than 0. And then we'll just quickly count down. All right, so that's it. Now, where we're drawing our food, just here, I'll just clear up this space. In our draw food function, we need to update our code right here. And let's see, we have our draw food. So instead of just drawing our rect fill here, where we have our rect fill with our food and our position, we need to modify our code to have access to our color, and then we'll access our flash timer and alternate that color. Then we can actually draw this. So let's go ahead, and we're going to keep this, by the way. This is very important. We don't change this. And we might actually change this when we have a physical value for our color. So let's go ahead and see how we can do that. So first, under our draw food, let's create a local color variable, since this is going to be very important now. Instead of just using numbers here, like we have 14, we could just use color. And let's just quickly do that. So I'll just set that to color. Like so. So we have a color. And also color is actually a built-in. So let's call that L color. So here, I'll just go over here and say L color. So we have now local L color is going to be equal to 8, which is going to be red, because 8 is red. Right. So we have our local color. And let's check if our flash timer is greater than 0, then we can change our flash timer and make it flash. So here, I'll just say if flash underscore timer is greater than 0, then what do we want to do, right? So we want to alternate our color. So we'll do a nested if statement. So we're going to say if our floor value of our flash timer, and we'll multiply that by 10. This is just the math I've done pre-hand. And then we have our modulo operator, which will return a reminder to if it's equal to 0. And basically, this is just checking for our time step. Then we're going to set our color. So I'm just going to say color, or our L color. So L color is going to be equal to, let's set it to, let's say yellow. That's 10. So else, if that's not the case, then we'll set our color. So L color is going to be equal to, let's say, white 7. So let's go ahead and end this loop. And we already have our end for our if statement. And then over here, we'll ensure that we have our end for our draw food function. All right. So let's just quickly go through what we're doing here again. So we are going to draw our flashing food. And to do that, we initially set a color to red. And we'll check if our flash timer is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, then we're going to increase our flash timer and check if the time has elapsed a fraction of seconds. If it has done that, we're setting the color to yellow. Else, we're setting the, we can see an error here. So we're setting it back to white. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. And basically, our flash timer will track how long our flashing is going to last in a couple of seconds. Update flash is going to decrease that timer gradually. And then our draw food will check the timer and basically toggle the color to create a blinking effect. So which is what we're actually doing here, right? So it will check our timer and toggle this. So let's go ahead and save and run. And I've actually slowed down the game a bit because my nephew came and I made him, he was trying to see what I was doing. So I just set the speed down for him. So I'll set this to 0.15 for a move delay, save that and run. So let's see that. Is it even working? Let's go ahead and check that again. Yeah. So we've actually seen, I don't think I can see that. Let's just try it again. Like so. So it flashed, it changed color, and then we have it spawning again. Oh, cool. All right. So our flash timer is working. All right, great. So in our next lesson, we'll continue working on our snake game to set up our walls and boundaries. Already we can play the game forever. We're not going to get hurt. So we'll also look at that. So thank you for following along with the challenge. And I know that it can be very confusing and difficult, but with practice, everything gets better. So try and break it into simple parts and basically understand the roadmap of how things work, and we'll continue moving from there. Thank you for watching.